You're listening to Real Coaching Radio TV, building a positive network.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Kids Talk Foundation, a global nonprofit organization providing youth advocacy, television programming, and training services in the United States, along with comprehensive medical and educational services for the developing world. Most recently in Kenya, Africa, where Kids Talk Foundation provides a feeding program, medical care, and educational services to over 1,300 young people each day. Please help our youth and place your donation. Go to www.kidstalk.org. Are you in the entertainment industry? If you answered yes and you want to promote yourself, your passion, and profession, check out Creative Independent Artist magazines at CIAartists.com. Endorsed by Kids Talk Foundation worldwide.
Welcome to the Ninon Speaks Internet TV show. Ninon is an international entrepreneur and philanthropist who's become an influential and positive role model for thousands of people all over the world. Drawing on a rich tapestry of experience from her adventures both in front of and behind the camera, Ninon captivates, entertains, and inspires audiences from all walks of life. Her motto is, "Nothing happens without you." Now, here's your host, Ninon de Verde Rosa.
Welcome to Ninon Speaks, yes, and it's a wonderful, wonderful day in Vegas today. You know what they say, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, there's one problem. Ninon Speaks lives in Vegas, so it doesn't exactly stay in Vegas. And today we're reaching out because my shows reach out to many people out there. And, of course, my passion is the younger generation. So anytime I can get a guest dealing with the younger generation, I'm elated. So today we have a young lady that is actually dedicating her life to a younger generation, but also in another thing I love, which is communications, media, film, and television, and putting them out there into the entertainment arena. So today we have with us is Tige Charity. Is that the right way to pronounce your name, young lady?
That's very close, very close. It's actually Tige.
Oh, Tige. Oh, Tige. Okay, Tige.
Yeah.
You see, there you go. I just got to put that little French accent on there. Tige.
There you go, exactly.
And there you go. And Tige has started an organization. She actually started this in 2009, and it's called Kids in the Spotlight. And what a better place could they be? And let's get a little bit of your background, exactly. Why did you start this? And, you know, why did you go into the children's arena of entertainment?
You know what? A couple of things happened that kind of sparked this new endeavor. I've worked in the insurance business for 15 years as a litigation claims specialist, and in 2009, when the economy started to change, my job started laying off. So my department was affected, and I was laid off. And but prior to that, about 5 years prior to that, my husband and I were visiting Penny Lane, an all-girls group home out here in Los Angeles, and my husband was doing a workshop there, an acting workshop. And we got a chance to tour the girls' dorm. And as I walked through the girls' dorm room, I noticed these, several twin beds crammed into small rooms and pictures above the beds and drawers underneath. And then I noticed another group of girls kind of being very abrupt and just kind of misbehaving. And I had two
kind
thoughts.
Of angry? They were kind of angry? Yeah.
Absolutely. And I had two thoughts at that time. My first thought was, why was I fortunate to be raised in a loving home with a mother and a father? And my second thought was, why are these kids acting out when we're visitors? They have company. And it dawned on me that they weren't just acting out, but rather just wanting somebody to recognize them, wanted some attention.
Yeah,
and
they wanted attention.
Exactly.
They didn't know how to get it in the, I guess, polite world, so they figure whichever way they can get it, they're going to get it, especially from you, since
Absolutely.
You came to see them.
Absolutely, and that's what I concluded too. And I wanted to do something to give back at that time to make a difference. But I was kind of feeling sorry for the girls, and I knew they didn't need that. They needed empathy more than sympathy. And so actually I did nothing until maybe 4 years later, after I was laid off from my job. I was literally up crying one night, just, praying and asking God, what is it that I'm supposed to do? How can I make a difference? I don't want to get back in the rat race of trying to find a corporate job and, doing the insurance. I want to make a
Well, that's
difference.
kind of nine to five job that you go in, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and do the best you can. There's nothing
Exactly.
challenging in it at all.
Exactly. And so, and it was literally that night, just through tears and praying and crying, that I believe God gave me the vision for Kids in the Spotlight, because I remembered those girls and I thought, what is it that makes me happy? And it's the art, it's entertainment. And I said, why don't I give them that platform to tell their story their way? And I jumped up and I started writing it down, even the name, Kids in the Spotlight. I'm like, give them that day in the spotlight.
So, in other words, you became a young lady and a child again,
Exactly,
in your
exactly.
in your element.
Exactly. I felt energized all over again. Just the thought process just kind of ignited me.
Now, have you ever been in acting or done anything like that yourself?
Well, I'm married to an actor,
Yeah.
so I think, being married to an actor, I've had exposure in that area. But I sing, so I've done a few musical plays. But I'm not what I would call a real actor. Although I act up every now and then, but I'm not a real actor.
Per se. So that's fascinating how you started that, because that was kind of a time when we were going through all these problems with housing and everything else. A lot of people losing their homes, a lot of things happening, a lot of people losing jobs and everything. And then you came up with this very positive attitude of doing something and actually giving back, which you probably at that particular time, you had time to do it because you didn't have a job.
Absolutely, absolutely. What was interesting, I didn't have a job and didn't really have any money either, but I knew that I wanted to really make a difference. So at that very next day, I got up and I went to We the People and I incorporated the business. Then I started calling around to see how much it would cost to hire an attorney to do the 1023 form for the nonprofit status, and they were
Yeah.
way too expensive. So I completed the form myself and we got approved, and we've been doing small fundraisers to raise money, and we've been doing the program now for 3 years. Our kids have produced 20 short films to date.
Yeah, I've noticed that you've done an awful lot of film work, but it's just so funny you should say you filled out the form yourself, because I had the same problem. I started my 501c3 in 96. And
Mhm.
like you, I phoned up a lawyer and he wanted like $6,000. And I thought, for what? To fill out some forms? So I
Exactly.
promptly did it myself and actually got it right. I was surprised.
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
just figured if I got something wrong, they're going to come back and tell me to just fill in this and do that, which they
Absolutely.
did, and I got the same thing. And funny, mine was also for children, and I was actually interviewing children, um, and I did it for 15 years, and I interviewed children to try to help them to find out where they were coming from, what they wanted, what they needed, and it was just pure of giving back. I didn't want to make money on it or anything like that,
Yes.
just purely giving back my life. So giving to these young, and also it was in the media. I attached myself to the media because they don't have any of the media communications in schools anymore, do they? Or did they bring it back?
A lot of it is still it's still missing from the school. A lot of the arts programs and things like that are missing from the school, but there are a lot of people advocating to try to bring arts program back to the school. My program has been in 3 schools in LA so far, so we were really trying, and a lot of people are advocating
Now,
for it.
how do you actually bring that as not being a teacher of bringing that into the schools? Do you pick out children in the schools that want to be in the entertainment business? How do you manage that?
No, actually, what I do is I partner with other organizations that have after school programs, and
Oh,
they bring us in under their umbrella, and we allow their staff to select the kids that want to participate. So we're not in the selection process at all. We select up to 20 kids per 10-week session, and it's totally up to that organization that bring us in which kids will participate in our program.
yeah. And do you have a lot of kids that want to actually do this, or do you have to try to find them?
No, it's amazing. We just had our big film festival, Movies by Kids for Kids film festival this past Sunday, and one of our students from a year ago came back and she shared that she's now in college majoring in performing arts. We have another kid who went on to film school and now he's interning at a major studio. So we get kids who may not necessarily know that they have this skill or this gift, and they're just not aware of all the different areas in the entertainment industry, because with our program they're exposed to boom mic operators, sound engineers, wardrobe, makeup.
So you
So
do
there's
the
so many
whole
different
across
areas.
the board. Do any of your children now? I understand what I'm reading here: the mission, the vision, objective, and you've got a whole strategy. You've got a whole bunch of stuff going on here.
Mhm.
Now these children, do they ever do any acting in their own films, or do they get the actors?
No, no, no. They write, they act, they even cast. So just because they write the film, that doesn't mean they automatically star in it. They audition in front of each other and they get cast by each other. But then they also open it up for industry professionals to come in and audition for some of the adult roles and older roles. So they cast industry professionals as well.
Now, this is strictly between, if I can see rightly here, between 11 years old and 17 years old that can actually
Correct.
do this. So they actually come into the program. Now, do you give them like a sort of a seminar or something, actually what they're getting themselves into, and they're going to actually be in this thing for how many weeks are they in this thing for?
Well, they're in the program for 10 weeks, and yes, we usually go in maybe 2 weeks prior to starting and just kind of share what the organization is, who we are, what we do, and, and just let the kids in whatever school or group home that we're visiting know that we're coming, so that if they are interested, they should talk to the administrators about signing up, and it's the first 20 kids that we
Okay,
can
so
accept.
so it is a sign-up thing, and it is something that the obviously all the teachers put around there that any child in that particular school can attend what you're doing.
Yes, yes,
So
absolutely.
they have an incredible opportunity. Is this done through the educational hours, or is this done after school?
It's usually done after school, but it depends on where we are. One school, it was during school hours, and when we're at the group homes that we work with, the foster care group homes, sometimes that's done during school hours as well. So it really does depend on where we are located.
And who do you find coming in? Do you find more girls or boys coming in, or is it pretty equal?
You know what? It's pretty equal. It's pretty equal. We worked at all boys group homes, so of course that was all boys. It depends on the group home, but we've had a nice balance between boys and girls. It's been very interesting.
And do they obviously when they go into this particular program, they don't really know anything because the schools aren't teaching them. So do you teach? Who exactly helps these kids, to get from the beginning and to the end of what they're producing?
Well, we enlist industry professionals, writing instructors, acting instructors, casting directors, and when it's time to shoot the films, we hire a production company. So we bring in real crew people. So these are the people that are educating the kids in the program. So we industry writers who are actually
So
working
you
and
actually
working
have,
at it.
yeah, you have professionals coming in
Yes,
to teach them what they need to learn,
yes.
and that must be pretty hard to get, huh?
Well, it can be a little difficult, but we have really, really been blessed with using the same writing instructors and the same acting instructors. That's their way of really giving back. So they've been committed to our program for the past 3 years. So we haven't really had to do much on finding writing or acting instructors. And I've worked as an independent casting director, so I pretty much facilitate the casting sessions myself. But when it comes down to production, we try to bring on a production company that has all the elements to
Yes, because
production.
that kind of gives it quality. On that, we're going to take a break. We have to take a break every 15 minutes. We're going to come back and we're going to find out. She's got a lot of prestigious people on the board that have actually won a lot of Emmys and all sorts of crazy things here. So we'll be right back and we'll talk about who they are. See you in a bit.
Okay, thank you.
Do you need a marketing and branding engine to drive leads into your website and product funnels? We will distribute your video, audio, blog content, and build backlinks, including social proof, and much more, to all corners of the internet, designed to attract prospects and the search engines. Visit www.realcoachingradio.net or call 303-997-2664 for more information.
Would you like to host your own internet TV show? Express that one thing that you're passionate about to millions of people? Speak your mind. Create deeper and longer-lasting relationships with your viewers. Create value. Deliver results. And effectively build your personal brand. For more information, go to www.realcoachingradio.net or call 303-997-2664. Watch the Maxed Out Money Hour Internet TV show program All About Money with your hosts Ninon and Coach Steve every Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central at realcoachingradio.net.
You're listening to Real Coaching Radio TV, building a positive network.
Welcome back to Ninon Speaks. And yes, we have an incredible guest with us, a young lady, Tige Charity, and she's absolutely amazing what she's doing for our younger generation, and they certainly need it now. We've got a lot of kids right now that are falling through the cracks and actually don't know where they go or what they're doing or what they're going to do when they do get out of high school, whether they're going to go into university or what they're going to do. And with what she is doing is actually giving them an opportunity, a way out of actually finding something that they might not have had before or not even known that they could do what they're doing now. But before we go any further, let's just welcome Stickum and Blog TV, Real Coaching Radio TV Network, Receiver Internet Radio, Radio Rocko, New Media Radio, and of course our partner Stitcher. Anyway, we're back here, and we're talking about how these children get into this. And also, I just wanted to go a little bit into, you have got an incredible board here, and you've got a young man here, Robert Campbell. He is a 6-time Emmy Award recipient. That's amazing that you've got all these people attached to you. That means they must have good faith in you, which is rightfully so. But yeah, these people don't like to do a lot of this stuff because they're always asked to do charity work and give and all this stuff. So you must have a pretty good way of sort of handling these people and helping them and letting them know how they're helping our younger generation coming up here, which is what they need. How do you manage that?
Well, it's very funny because we're actually friends. I've known Mr. Campbell and his wife from when we were living on the East Coast, because I'm married to an actor. My husband booked an episode of Law & Order Special Victims Unit back in 2000, I think, and they had an end-of-the-year rap party, and my husband and I attended the rap party. I think it was in 2001, and Robert's wife came to our table and asked if she could sit, and she sat and we talked, and we developed a friendship. From that night, we were friends from, that night until present. And when they moved to the West Coast first, because Robert was working on Law & Order Special Victims Unit and the writing team was located out in Los Angeles. So they moved out first, and maybe 2 or 3 years after that, my husband and I moved out to Los Angeles, and we just kept in touch. So it started as, a friendship. And then
so it's kind of a friend, and that's a good thing to teach the young people, that you start friends and you never know where it's going to go or where you're going to actually intertwine with each other. I got a message here that I've got to wish everybody a happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody out there. I forgot to wish them this. I guess the reason I always kind of forget this kind of holiday is because I'm not that keen on all this Halloween stuff and all this witches and all this crazy stuff.
Neither am I understand.
No, so I'm not that. But anyway, and then you have another young lady that's also you've got a few of them that have actually, won awards and everything. And how do they like doing what they're doing for the younger generation and actually helping them and sort of, as we call it, giving back?
Mm-hmm. That's the key, I think. It's a matter of giving back. And because they come on set sometimes when we're shooting, they see our kids in action, and then they're at the annual Movie by Kids for Kids Film Festival. So they see the joy on our kids' faces as they receive awards for Best Actor and Best Screenplay and walk the red carpet with celebrities. They see the transformation taking place. And they know my heart, and they know that I'm always talking about our kids and talking about the accomplishments and celebrating them. So it was very easy for them to just really kind of latch on to what we're doing.
I think you've just got a very convincing way of doing things, of helping and doing things. Now, your young lady, your little girl, how old is she now?
She's 4 months.
Oh, 4 months. Oh, my goodness. Well, you look great for 4 months.
Thank you.
You look
Thank
fabulous. And would you ever want her to go into the acting business and that because she's got like a head in life because of her dad?
if that's where her heart's desire is and she has the skills to make it happen, absolutely. I would encourage her 100% to pursue whatever dream it is that she has in her heart to do.
That's wonderful because I think most parents, people should actually know that out there that let them kind of feel their own place and feel where they want to go and what they want to do. Now, I was looking here that you have the Writers Guild of America is also behind you, and the reason I was fascinated by this. The reason they're behind you is because each film or short film that these young people put together, they actually register it with Writers Guild.
Yes, my organization
Fascinated me.
registers. Yeah, my organization
Right.
registers their scripts with the Writers Guild so that they will have credit. No one can take their credit. My company, Kids in the Spotlight, does not have credit. Our names, actually, our organization name is not even on the certificate. It's in their names with their script attached. So it is always their work.
So it'll always be 100% theirs. And
Absolutely.
that will be of each one who has participated or what role they have played in it. They register themselves as of that role.
Yeah, we register them as writers. Yes.
That's right, yeah, because it's the Writers Guild. But actually, as I think people know out there, the Writers Guild is when you think of an idea or you have an idea in the entertainment business or in the writing business, you go and register it. The reason you register it is protecting it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so many people, copy everything, and it's
Yes.
funny because even though you do that, if you put a "the" in between something, it's now different. So
Yes.
it's
Yes.
a tricky thing to actually do. But at the same time, this gives these young people a tremendous amount of credit at a very young age, which otherwise they wouldn't normally do that or understand that because I've never heard of that.
Absolutely.
And then so you bring all these little entities into it. You've also you've got another thing here. Now, I was film short. This is all the young people that do this. You just help with the kind of bringing it together. But they actually, from 11 years old to 17, and do they choose who they want for the producer and for the director? Because I presume that's what it is.
No, we actually bring on the production company. It's like bringing on a writing instructor or acting instructor. So they don't select in that process. We bring on that production crew, the professional crew, to work with the kids to make sure they get a professional finished product.
So you actually bring in the lighting, the directors, and everybody to put this
Yes,
together for the kids.
absolutely. Craft service, wardrobe, makeup, all of it.
Oh, I just want to tell you something. Brian Darling just joined us.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
he's
is
an
my
angel. He's
friend.
one of these angel people of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
He actually got us connected, and he was at your affair. I think you had an affair this past Sunday or Saturday. You had a big fundraiser. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, it's what the 10-week program culminates into what we call the Movies by Kids for Kids Film Festival and Awards ceremony. So it's our version of the Oscars for the kids. They walk the red carpet with celebrities. We screen their films, and then we give them awards for best actor, best screenplay. So once when the films are done, we send them to industry professionals with a voting ballot, and they vote which film, has the best ensemble cast, which film has the best actor or actress. And then at the Movie by Kids for Kids Film Festival, we present them with awards. So again, it's our version of the Oscars.
So
So
now, your version of the Oscars. Now, this is so funny because you started this sort of, is this your first one you did, or how many have you done?
no, this is the third one.
Oh, the
This is
third one. So
yeah.
would you allow other people to come in as well as having your own crew and your own people there? Would you allow other people to come in to kind of sort of, get involved in it as well? And like
Okay.
then that would really become like the Oscars.
Yeah. Well, definitely, we're always open for other people to get involved. But as far as the screening of the film, that is the night for our kids who've gone through our program. just to celebrate them and award them for their accomplishments. So we wouldn't allow other people to bring films to showcase there, but we definitely we bring on celebrity hosts and presenters and people of that status to really come and help celebrate with these kids, because a lot of these kids have never seen actors, the people they see on television, in person. So to see these people in person on the red carpet, it's fascinating for these kids.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to remember there was no. Well, by the way, first of all, I want to say hi to Brian. Hello, Brian.
Hi,
How are you?
Brian.
It's good to
God.
have you. Good to have you. We're all both like, we're so excited you're there, Brian. It's good for your support. And this young lady seems to get a lot of support from everybody. Everybody loves her, follows her, and wants to do and help her. So I think this is amazing. But I did there was another show, I forget what it was called, and I used to film this, and these kids would walk the red carpet, and then they all had awards, and then we had some of the kids performing. Do you ever do any breaks like that where the kids can perform as well?
No, we haven't had any performance because the Writers Guild is, the theater is kind of a stickler for like performances, live performances. So we really stick with just showing the films and then transitioning into the awards ceremony. So we haven't had any live performances during the festival.
No. Have you ever tried to get into, or are you into Beverly Hills High School?
No, we're not into Beverly Hills High School. Actually, I don't even know anyone. I don't have any type of connection at Beverly Hills High
Oh,
School.
I'm
So
going to send you.
I'm
I'm
not
going
there.
to send you a couple of collections there. I'll tell you what. I filmed out of there for 5 years,
Oh,
so I
no.
know they've got a bunch of kids there that really love the performing arts and love to do all this stuff. And they do actually have a program. I don't know how good the program is now. I don't know what's going on. But that when they actually have a complete studio. But in the studio, and this is why I was asking you this question, in the studio, when I was doing my show, I actually had the students on all three cameras. And I
Nice.
had them, yeah, I had them producing, directing, I had them on camera, I had them putting the PSAs in, I had them the manager, there was the manager of the floor, everything, just like a production, but I had all the young people doing it. It was amazing.
Nice. That's very nice.
Yeah, so
Very
you
nice.
might want to, yeah, you go to my website, www.kidstalk.org, and check out what I've been doing, because you might get a couple of ideas from it as to what you want to do and sort of and make your thing bigger and everything. Because I could see yours, actually, this is just a seed I'm planting, I could see
Uh-huh.
the Academy Awards for the young people.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. That would be fabulous. So I will. I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, have a look at it and see what we did and how we did it, because it was amazing how it all works and how many, children. Now then, regarding raising money for this thing, I guess actually we've got to take a break again. We need to take a break. The half hour is up again. It goes by too fast.
I
We're going to
see.
start raising money when we come back. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back to our guests, and we're going to be seeing how it is to raise money out there in this day and age. Nobody has money.
Ooh,
Do it.
exactly.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Would you like to host your own internet TV show? Express that one thing that you're passionate about to millions of people? Speak your mind. Create deeper and longer lasting relationships with your viewers. Create value. Deliver results. And effectively build your personal brand. For more information, go to www.realcoachingradio.net or call 303-997-2664.
Do you need a marketing and branding engine to drive leads into your website and product funnels? We will distribute your video, audio, blog content, and build backlinks, including social proof, and much more, to all corners of the internet, designed to attract prospects and the search engines. Visit www.realcoachingradio.net or call 303-997-2664 for more information.
Watch the Maxed Out Money Hour Internet TV show program All About Money with your hosts Ninon and Coach Steve every Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central at realcoachingradio.net.
You're listening to Real Coaching Radio TV, building a positive network.
Welcome back to Ninon Speaks, and yes, we've got an incredible guest, and obviously I absolutely love the subject because it's all about the younger generation and also in the performing arts. So I'm actually totally in my element. And we also have Brian Darling with us, and he's actually the gentleman that introduced us, and we're having a great time. TJ, let me ask you a question about, well, there's several questions here actually. One, I was fascinated is you deal a lot with the underprivileged children. Are these children in homes, or are they, where do these underprivileged youth come from?
Various locations. Some are actually living in foster care group homes, and some are placed with foster care families. So it just depends on where we are. And then some are just, kids that are in low income areas. So it's a variety of kids and where we get them from. But
do you ever turn any kid down?
We have not turned any kids down. No.
So you do give them privilege of testing it, trying it, and if they don't like it, they can leave, and if they like it, they can stay.
Absolutely.
So it's totally up to them of taking the advantage of this open forum that you're giving them, actually.
Totally, 100% up to them.
Now, since our audience out there, I think it's Kids Talk. It's www.kidsinthespotlight.org. Is that correct?
That is correct. Mm-hmm.
Any other way they can get hold of you?
Yes, it's actually, we also have a shorter website. It's www.kitsinc.org. So kidsinc.org. And then they can always email me, tige@kidsinc.org. That's TIGE@KITSINC.org.
Tige, what a beautiful name. Anyway, so I think that's fascinating with giving these underprivileged children a chance. I mean, although we call them children, they're really teenagers. And I know that at 11 years old, they want to be called teenagers, the younger generation, not kids, because I'd love to be called a kid again, but I'm older, so I don't mind. When you're a kid, you don't want to be a kid anymore, so a younger generation. Now, regarding raising money for a production, because I've got written down here that it costs $8,900 for each production. And is that actually paying for the crew to come in as well?
Yes, that's part of the crew services as well. Yes, that includes the craft service, that includes the wardrobe, props, that includes pretty much all of the supplies. That also includes the finished product. Like we package our DVDs for our kids, so they get a finished DVD copy of their film. So that includes all of that.
So because I was thinking that is quite high, but then and how long or how much time do these production people have to put this in? Do the kids have to be very, very much ready to actually do the film, which could take 1 to 2 days?
Yes, they have to be ready. They are drilled regarding knowing their lines and things like that. And on a production day, our production day with the kids run 8 to 9 hours.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yes, they are literally on a real set, and we are shooting for 8 to 9 hours. We try to make sure it's cut off by 9 hours. We don't like to exceed 9 hours.
You don't like to exceed 9 hours.
Yes.
So is that the 9 hours in 1 day, 2 days? How many days do you give them, or is that just 1 day?
Oh, that's 1 day.
Just 1 day. So it all has to be filmed within 1 day. Now, would that be either in a studio, or are they allowed to go on location?
No, we shoot near and on the location where the kids are. So if we're at a high school, we shoot when they're writing their script. They're taking in account of their area, everything that's around them. And sometimes we have to turn a room into a bedroom, a classroom into a bedroom, or a kitchen or a living room. So they have to be creative with what we have. We do not take them off-site.
So you don't do it off-site at all, so it has to be done all within the school. Can it be done on the school grounds if it's an open scene?
Yes, it can be done on the school ground or somewhere within the block but we do not
Oh,
take
because
them.
this is interesting. It's fascinating me because this is a lot of kids don't understand, how all this works, and
Yes,
you and I both know how it all works, and it can be rather complicated and rather difficult. And if you've got a whole bunch of kids you're taking to a location, that's like a real performance. Whereas if you keep it close and in its proximity of the school, then obviously, so you've got this really tied down to exactly. Now, how do you get your funding?
oh gosh.
I
I
know that's a
cry.
question.
I cry. I pray. Literally, we pound the pavement. We don't have a lot of financial support. We've made a lot happen with very, very little, but we try to have small fundraisers and our movie by kids for kids. We try to use that as a fundraiser opportunity as well to raise awareness about what we're doing and encourage people to give and partner with us and become monthly contributors to our organization. But it has literally been pounding the pavement.
Pounding the
Literally.
pavements. And who would you go after? I mean, I'm just thinking of lots of actors out there that that they started out at a young age, and would they like to get involved? Would they like to help these children? Because the children you're actually dealing with, they don't have parents. They don't have somebody, I'm sure some of them do, but some of them don't have parents that they can tap into to give a little, to help them with this production or to help them with what they're doing. Do you ever get the kids to sort of try to do fundraising for themselves?
No, I do not, because we're only with the kids for 10 weeks, and I really want their focus to be just writing, telling their story the best way they can. So I don't want to distract them with set things. That's our job. So I really don't, I don't put that on them at all.
I
Not at
like
all.
that. I think that's amazing. And of course, you can get in touch with this organization, which is called Kids in the Spotlight, and of course that's www.kidsinthespotlight.org. And you did give me another one, www.kitsinc.org as well. And so you can be reached. This organization and any kid out there that kind of feels lost or alone. Of course, this is only in Los Angeles, correct?
Yes, we're only in Los Angeles and the
At the
surrounding area.
moment.
Yes, at the
You,
moment.
you,
Yes.
you sound like you're a type of woman that's going to sort of get out there or sort of expand this whole thing. It sounds like it. Now, we're talking about raising money and the board and everything else, and you had a corporate job, and corporate jobs pay quite well, and you obviously are earning quite a good living. How do you manage to sustain yourself now, or is all the burden on your husband?
It's on my husband, yes. When I tell you I am literally living by faith, I am living by faith. So yes, and it is. My husband is really carrying a tremendous load, and yes, that's pretty much how we're doing it right now. Because I don't draw an income from the organization, and I haven't since the inception of the organization. So we're just doing the best that we can, and just trusting God to do what we can't do.
Absolutely. There you go. And what about your husband? What do we know him? And can you sort of talk a little bit about him? Because now he's become a fascinating face without a face.
He is a fascinating individual. He really is. He is an actor, and yes, his name is Antonio D. Charity, and he last night, as a matter of fact, he was on a episode of Sons of Anarchy that comes on the FX channel. So he does commercials and television shows. If you go on to IMDb and look him up, you'll see anything that he's been in, everything that he's been in, and anything that he's going to be on, in the upcoming months.
Yeah.
So
So we can watch out for him. Okay.
absolutely,
Yeah. Give him some promotion. He needs some help too now.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But he's a hardworking man.
And does he help you with your charity?
He does. He really, really does. He has been. I think that he has been sort of the anchor for me as far as just really pushing me to just go above and beyond and not give up based on what things look like. So he has been, and I can ask him to do pretty much whatever. If it's teach a class or help me with paperwork. He's very accessible and very willing to do it. So,
No,
and I
I'm just I'm getting a little bit away from because I love what you're bringing up, that your husband is 100% behind you. How do you think you have achieved that? Because there's so many divorces going on, so many marriages and all this stuff, and you're a woman going out there actually creating something yourself with which most men are not really too keen on because they really want their wife with them, either working or at home with them, or both working together and being together at that time of being together. What is your key to that? How did you manage to work that out like that?
well, I think that I started the organization when I visited that all girls group home, and remember, I visited because of him. He was doing a workshop at this
Oh.
group home. So my husband has been mentoring for years. When I met my husband, he's worked for the YMCA, or I'm sorry, the Boys and Girls Club, and he's done the Big Brother Little Brother program. So he has been giving back for as long as I've known him. So that's the heart of of who he is. And so for me to be in an area where I'm giving back, that only
Oh, so he's totally elated with the whole thing. You're
absolutely,
actually the backbone behind of his wish.
absolutely,
So you're
absolutely,
kind of working as a team.
absolutely, absolutely. Yes,
And also the younger generations see that. Your children you're dealing with, they probably see that a lot.
yes, they do because they see him a lot. So yes,
And they probably love that because
and
they
they
see
see
a
us
movie
working
star
together.
floating around, and that's what they want to be sometime, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's
Ab-
directing, producing, or actor, or whatever it may be. Now, if you had a wish out there, we're going to put this out there because maybe a few people are listening, and if they're not, then, well, tune in, find us, whatever.
mhm.
If you had a wish of some people coming in, actors and actresses coming in, directors, producers in the business, who would you like to come in to actually help you and also give them a sort of a good name as well, because they're now backing somebody that's helping the younger generation in the performing arts? Who would your wish be?
Oh gosh, I my right now I'm set on a Steven Spielberg, of course, because he's so massive in the entertainment industry, and he adopts kids as well. He's adopted kids. I'm looking for those industry professionals who have a heart for foster care children and who believe in adopting and giving back. But if I had to go for a really really big name, it would be someone like a Steven Spielberg. That would just make a world of difference. That would make, yeah, a world
And
of
yet, actually, Steven Spielberg would be an incredible person. Where are you, Steven? Hey, come on. What's
exactly.
his
Where are
program?
you?
Yeah,
He's
you
so
know why?
he's so
Because
out of reach for me.
he did a lot of movies actually
Of course,
with young people, with children. So he would be perfect.
he really would be. He really would be. But I have absolutely no way of reaching him. So
Well, you've got to no, you got to plant a few seeds and sort of get that out there a little bit. You know, what did
yeah,
they say? The squeaking wheel gets the grease.
it's the
So
oil. Yes.
start having a squeaking wheel, get a little bit of grease around there, and see what you can, how you can sort of evolve a lot of people out there. And I know it's hard. I know it's
Yeah.
hard to get out there, and I know it's hard to raise money, and it's hard to put a whole thing together and to keep it together. It's a lot of you've got to really have a lot of tenacity out there and to see what you can do. But I don't see why you can't get those people. I don't know why you can't just reach them to their managers. Would that be the best way to do it, to find the manager or something?
Probably, or either the publicists. When we do our Movies by Kids for Kids Film Festival, the people that we get to present, some of the celebrities, we go through their publicists and or either their manager. But a lot of times we go through their publicists and let their publicists know who we are and what we're doing, and we express our interest in that regard.
Yeah, because I know there's a gentleman. Oh, we've got to take a break. I'll be right back. But there's a gentleman I'll talk about that actually does help children in a different way of art.
Oh,
And we're going to be returning right back, and we're having an incredible interview regarding our younger generation in the performing arts. And we'll be right back.
Would you like to host your own internet TV show? Express that one thing that you're passionate about to millions of people? Speak your mind. Create deeper and longer-lasting relationships with your viewers. Create value. Deliver results. And effectively build your personal brand. For more information, go to www.realcoachingradio.net or call 303-997-2664.
Do you need a marketing and branding engine to drive leads into your website and product funnels? We will distribute your video, audio, blog content, and build backlinks, including social proof, and much more, to all corners of the internet, designed to attract prospects and the search engines. Visit www.realcoachingradio.net or call 303-997-2664 for more information.
Watch the Maxed Out Money Hour Internet TV show program All About Money with your hosts Ninon and Coach Steve every Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central at realcoachingradio.net.
You're listening to Real Coaching Radio TV, building a positive network.
Welcome back to Ninon Speaks. Yes, we have an incredible guest today, Tige Charity. She has brought on and started this Kids in the Spotlight, which is absolutely amazing. She started this in 2009. She has actually done 3 years in a row. It's like the Academy Awards for Kids, and it's just amazing how she does it. And what she does with all the kids that are involved in producing their own films, which means they're directing it, they're putting it together, they're writing it, they're doing everything, and it all has to be shot within 9 hours, so they have to be very, very much prepared. This is quite a long, I think it's 10 weeks, as she was saying, of how they go through this whole thing. And she also mentioned that a couple of her young people that have been in her program had actually gone to university and now sort of studying to go into the business. So that is quite amazing. We also have Brian Darling is asking you, how is your adorable daughter, Ebony? She is the cutest baby I have ever seen. Say hello from Uncle Brian. Well, Uncle Brian, I didn't know you were uncle. Now I know you're an uncle.
We love Brian, darling, and she is fabulous. Yes.
She's fabulous, Brian. She's doing awfully well, awfully well. We were talking about different people that are involved in this incredible Kids in the Spotlight. And why shouldn't kids be in the spotlight? Whether it's in the performing arts or whatever it's in, they should always be in the spotlights. And we are really here as adults, hopefully, training them, helping them, and sort of giving them that incredible backbone. Well, this young lady has decided to do that, and she's doing it extremely well. When you put on these movies by kids, how long does it take to get your organization to actually do the awards show for the evening?
Oh, that is we try to start 6 months prior to the actual event, because the event is usually the last Saturday in October. But this year we actually had it on a Sunday, which is different for us. But we've been trying to host it the very last Saturday in October. And we try to start planning 6 months before the actual date. But this year I was expecting, so I spent a lot of time in the hospital, so we got a very late start in the planning process. But I'm grateful to have professional people like Tige Griffin, who's the writer for, she wrote for the Hoodie Award shows and for Celebration of Gospel. So she understands the whole element of producing a show like this. So she's the executive producer of the show. So I'm in good hands with professional people like her and Tiffany Thomas, who's our event producer. She does events all the time, so she basically knows how to bring an event together. So I've been really fortunate and blessed to be working with professional people.
Yeah, Brian just sent you a message and said she's very funny, an excellent writer. She said she is. So you know,
she is.
And of course now you've got Brian on board too, so he knows a lot of people and he can obviously help tremendously. And I think that's what it is. I think it's more of building up relationships and sort of people knowing people for a long time. And you've got Claudia Wells, who is another young lady. She is an Emmy winner who starred in 6 ABC, CBS television series, countless now episodes. Oh, she's done so much here.
She was Jessica Parker in Back to the Future. She was the first Jessica Parker.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's when she
Oh.
started. Yes.
So you got some pretty good names. Claudia is the nicest woman. I'm getting these lovely messages from Brian. He said, Claudia is the nicest woman. I love her. I think Brian loves all women. Because last I heard, you love me too, Brian. If you could help other people, sort of to try to help our younger generation in the performing arts, in what direction would you like them to sort of, to give them a direction of how we can help our younger generation? Because the performing arts is really, in the young people, is kind of not disappearing, but it's not like it used to be.
Right, right. Well, first, I would say know what your niche is, what you're good at, and offer them that. Offer them the best of you. Because our kids need, so it takes a village, really to invest in a child and give them options because they, even when I was a child, I didn't know about the entertainment industry and all the different jobs. So you have to, I guess, broaden
Introduce it to them, right? Introduce
Exactly,
it.
exactly. So introduce the best of you, your talent, your skills, what you have. My program is very focused. It's 10 weeks. It's strictly just writing, acting, casting, and producing films. But there are other programs that may be out there that could utilize your expertise, or maybe you start something. I don't think there's ever enough for kids. There certainly are a lot of nonprofit organizations, and we're all competing for dollars, but there are kids everywhere. So I don't think there's ever enough that we can do to offer our kids and present them with opportunities to help discover and find their dreams.
Yeah, because this is a kind of what we're here. Oh, Brian Darling sent another. Oh, yes, he says, yes, Ninon, I love you too. Okay, I feel good. Now I feel okay. No, Brian, I don't feel left out. See, Brian wants to get involved in this show. So Brian really is involved in this show. He's just in the background somewhere, and he's probably laughing away there. But I love how you're saying that don't be afraid, anybody out there, to start something or give to our children. That's what we're here for as adults, is to help our younger generation. And all I hear is how stupid our young people are. They've got no manners. They've got this. They've got that. They don't have anything. Well, the only reason they don't have that is because we as adults are not teaching them. They didn't grow up to be polite and sweet and lovely and know everything. It's for us to teach them. And I think we kind of lost that, haven't we?
Yes, I think so. And just as I said, I saw a group of girls and they were misbehaving, and it was easy for me to just kind of cast judgment. But then I thought, well, what can I do? They want attention. Let's give them that attention. Let's create that platform where they can have that attention. The spotlight is now on you. Action.
Yeah.
So when you see kids acting like that, just know what you can give to help, to offer them, to make them a better them.
And to make them feel that, I think, the greatest thing, it's funny because when you see a child from probably about from when they're born until about 3 years old, they're clinging to their mother and they're very shy and they're very sort of, clingy, and they need that encouragement. And when we don't give them that encouragement, they go into like a cocoon and they're afraid to get out and they're afraid to say anything. And then you also, especially these children, because they've been abused, they've been neglected. Obviously, they have not been given the right treatment because they're in a home. And if they were given the right treatment, they wouldn't be there in the first place. So obviously, they've already come into the world as being very disruptive and also not wanted.
Yes.
So we have to re-embed this. And I think to all parents, and even the teenagers out there, even the over 18-year-olds, go and help the young people because you're a little bit more connected to them than we are. Wouldn't you say so?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Take every opportunity you can to give back in some way. Make a difference.
Yeah, make a difference. Make a big difference. And actually, talking of making a difference, we've got all these things up here. Nan and Steve, everybody's sending everybody hugs and kisses, and everybody loves everybody. Nan in New York, we got Steve in Denver, we got you in Los Angeles, and then we've also got darling Brian in Los Angeles and myself in Vegas. We're all loving each other. What a beautiful world that is. How beautiful that is. With all that together, what I'm going to do, I'm going to send that all back east. to all the people back east that are having a dreadful time. Mother Nature is nothing to do with anybody. It's Mother Nature came along and did that thing and disrupted all this, all these places, especially New York. I think we were rather surprised that got hit in New York. They closed everything down. Stock exchange got closed down for 2 days. And this is something we don't expect, right?
Absolutely.
It's just something that comes along. We never expect anything like this. But anyway, getting back to our children, and now what would you like anybody to do out there for you, and how can they get involved with you?
Well, right now our biggest need is really financial support. They can always make a donation on our website. They can mail a donation to our mailing address, which is on our website. We're also looking for industry professionals to join our board to help create partnership with studios and other industry outlets. So there's so many different ways that they can help, but just contact us and let us know what your area of expertise is.
Yeah, and I think you also need, rather than paying a lot of this crew to come in and film this, you also could do with a crew that didn't charge.
Oh, that would be fabulous.
Wouldn't that be lovely? Well, have you ever thought of going to any of these universities where they have the communications department? Loyola Marymount is one of them, I know very well. And they actually, they could bring a crew out, but I don't know if they would be experienced enough for you, because you want somebody pretty experienced.
Yes, we definitely want to give them the best possible finished product that we can. So we don't want to experiment too much with the finished product. So we definitely look for cinematographers who have up-to-date equipment and boom mic operators who know exactly what they're doing, because they're teaching our kids at the same time that we're shooting the film.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Do you have the kids with the cameraman? Do you have the couple of kids around the cameraman?
Absolutely.
So they learn what to do and how to do it?
Absolutely. And then we have the kids that are working with the directors, because the kids know exactly what they wrote and they know how they want it to look. So the director is getting his notes from the kids. So the kids are directing the director. So
I love it. That's amazing. So you've got the kids actually, and also the writer, I guess, comes in and says, no, I want it said this way and done this way and not that way.
Absolutely.
And do they listen to them and do they obey them?
Oh, of course. They know coming in, this gig requires you to basically submit to the kids. They are in charge for the most part. So it's their project. Absolutely.
So it's their project. Absolutely. Now, obviously you go from 11 to 17. Do you ever go any younger if they're qualified?
We have gone as young as 10, and very bright kids. So the facility that we were working with pretty much told us that this kid was very advanced, and just to let him come in, and we did it, and he did a fabulous job. And we've had some repeat offenders who turned 18 and came back as well. So there's a lot of flexibility in terms of the age, but we really try to stick with 11 to 17.
Yeah, and I've looked at the strategy. You've got 20 kids aged 11 to 17, 2 days a week, 1 to 5. There's a lot of you've got it marked down here of they've got 3 weeks of developing and acting schools, 2 weeks film production, including. So there's a lot of stuff there. And then you've also got I guess, is this for the awards? Best film, best actor, best supporting actor, best story. And best assembly class. I think that's amazing how you put all that together, of actually putting all that together. I better get myself together. The hour has gone by real fast, and I'm like starting the show all over again because I'm excited. And I am excited. And you're an incredible guest. I thank you so much. I love what you're doing out there for kids. And you can be reached at kidstalkinthespotlight.org. Get to them. It doesn't matter how much money you give. You $5, $10, $100, $100,000. Doesn't matter. Anything will help our younger generation, especially these kids. They all come out of the foster homes and they've already had a tough life. So we're just giving them you are giving them an opportunity to be out there, to be something. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And we'll have you on again and see how it's going, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you.
been a pleasure.
Thank you to my audience for watching Ninon Speaks. Watch us for next week. We'll be back on again. And we're definitely going to have Brian Dowling back on again because I think he has a
Yes,
lot to say. So we need to
yes.
thank him very much for bringing you in. Thank you. See you next week. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Kids Talk Foundation, a global nonprofit organization providing youth advocacy, television programming, and training services in the United States, along with comprehensive medical and educational services for the developing world. Most recently in Kenya, Africa, where Kids Talk Foundation provides a feeding program, medical care, and educational services to over 1,300 young people each day. Please help our youth and place your donation. Go to www.kidstalk.org.
You're listening to Real Coaching Radio TV, building a positive network.